Let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan, my man Pots and Pans, what's the deal, baby? Kicking with KCMC, what's up with you? Hey, man, we got a couple things to talk about in sports realm. Gilbert Arenas, your man's Pots and Pans, he in trouble. This is coming from NBCnews.com. Former NBA star Gilbert Arenas and a half dozen others allegedly ran a high-end illegal poker games at a Los Angeles home rented by the Agent Zero player, federal authorities said on Wednesday. 8 were charged in connection to the games that were allegedly conducted between September 12th, 2021 and July 20th, 2022, according to charging documents. Arenas, quote, would rent out a residence located on Gable Drive in Encino, end quote, a suburban neighborhood of LA's San Fernando Valley, quote, continue, quote, for the purpose of hosting illegal poker games, end quote. While hosting a cash poker game isn't illegal by definition, this operation crossed into a criminal act as organizers would collect a rake, that is a fee the house would charge from each pot, either as a percentage or a fixed amount per hand, according to charging documents. I was wondering the same thing. I'm saying my mans can't be at his own crib and play poker with his boys and have a simple wager? Okay. For one, I can see if you say you can't place bets even in privacy of your home. All right, cool, whatever. But it seemed like none of that was illegal. The only thing is illegal is that the criminal act is that, what did they say? While hosting a cash poker game isn't illegal by definition, this operation crossed into a criminal act as organizers would collect a rake, which is a fee the house would charge from each pot. So that's where it got illegal. One, that's a stupid ass technicality to try to get them on. For two, they say this happened between September 2021 to July 2022. Y'all petty as hell for waiting 3 years to go back and get somebody for that. Y'all petty, bro. That was 3-4 years ago. I just don't like that, bro. Like, it seemed like y'all got it out for Gil. And I'm not even a Gilbert Arenas fan per se. Yeah, I watch Gil's Arena on YouTube. I enjoy it. But I'm not about to sit up here and be defending Gil, but this is some BS if I'm being honest with you. A federal case for this? Come on, fam. Y'all doing too much. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all doing too much on Gil, fam. Once again, not even a super Gilbert Arenas fan. Like, I know he was pretty decent and everything. I ain't even got no hate towards him. But for y'all to sit up here and get him for this on federal charges, and then the other 8 players, when I be honest, when I look at the names, bro, the names are so, bro, it's like all his super Hispanic Spanish names. Let me try to read some of these off to you. The names that were involved. Oh my God, bro. Yevgeny Gershman, Evgeny Torvesky, Alan Austria, Yaron Cohen, Arthur Katz, Evgen Kratchkin, and Valentina Kajokari. Bro, who the hell is Gilbert Arenas hanging around, bro? That's my other question. Who you hanging around? Bro, that was the most rare. I was expecting NBA player names, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was expecting NBA player names. I listened to them, I'm like, bro, who the hell you hanging around? Honestly, I'm like, you hanging around names like that, you might be on some dirty stuff. But I don't want to wish that on my dog. And I'm not saying my dog like I'm a fan, but I don't want to wish that on him. But Gilbert Arenas is probably the most normal name out of that entire group. And technically, Gilbert Arenas sound like a name that ain't his real name either, but that's a whole nother subject. Point is, I think the feds are doing too much trying to track down a NBA player for an illegal poker game night in his own residence that he rented for the day or the night or whatever, and get him just for raking, collecting a fee on it. How did y'all even find? Man, listen. Let me know what you think. Is Gilbert Arenas, if he did this, if these charges are to be true, should he get federal charges? Is he super wrong for what he did? Or is he wrong at all? Is he not wrong? I don't think he's wrong. I think it is what it is. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat, in the comments, or call into the show, 313-466-4386. Since we are going to keep things in the NBA, let's go ahead and talk about this. Let me take a drink. It's apple juice, by the way. All right, so Uber Arena. You can see it behind me. The reason you never heard of it is because it is not in the United States. According to the story, NBA.com, NBA also introduces regular season games in Manchester and Paris in 2027 and in Berlin and Paris in 2028. The National Basketball Association today announced the Memphis Grizzlies and the Orlando Magic will play regular season games in Berlin on Thursday, January 15, 2026, and in London on Sunday, January 18, 2026. The league also announced that it will play regular season games in Manchester and Paris in 2027 and Berlin and Paris in 2028. The games will be held at Uber Arena in Berlin, the O2 Arena in London, Co-op Live in Manchester, and the Accor Arena in Paris, France. The dates and participating teams for the games in 2027 and 2028 will be announced prior to the 2026, 2027, and in the 2027-2028 NBA seasons, respectively. The NBA Berlin game 2026, presented by Tassat, will mark the 14th game featuring an NBA team in Germany since 1984, and the league's first regular season game in the country. The NBA London game 2026 will be the 19th game featuring an NBA team in the UK since 1993, and the league's 10th regular season game in London. The game in Manchester in 2027 will mark the second game featuring an NBA team in Manchester since 2013, and the league's first regular season game in the city. The game in Paris in 2027 will mark the 16th game featuring an NBA team in France since 1991, and at least 6th regular season game in Paris. I want to get all the facts out there just to let you and the NBA know, you as a fan, I don't give a damn where they play at, bro. Why is this a big announcement or an announcement at all that they're playing overseas? This ain't for us here in America. This ain't for us. Okay, yeah, maybe a few fans want to travel overseas and watch their favorite team. Get that experience overseas. That is few and far in between. That's such a low percentage of total fans of that team or of the NBA. It's insignificant. You're really doing this, NBA, for your own money. Because I'm going to be honest. Unless y'all make the court a different color like the NBA Cup, or they play outside in a different environment, it all looks the same. It's a basketball court, especially on TV, so we don't care. That's why I say from the stands of a sports fan, from the stands. That's the name of the show, From the Stands. We don't care about it. We got a perspective from the stand. And from the stand, it still look like a basketball court. In the arena, it still look like an arena. We don't know what's out the country unless we are outside that arena in the country. So NBA, we don't care about these announcements, fam. I really don't care. And I hate that y'all even do that. Y'all spend resources and time not only doing it, but announcing it. Now I get it. The NBA wants to expand and be international a little bit more. That's cool. But who cares about... Actually, I would be almost upset if my home team played a team that I wanted to see, but y'all taking them overseas when I could just go right down the street in my own city. I'd be a little upset about that. This is the only time I can see Grizzlies and the Magic together. I get to see Ja Morant and Paolo Banchero. This is the only time of the season I can actually see that in my hometown. This season. And you gonna take them overseas. I'd be mad as a fan. But I'm not a Grizzly or Magic fan. So let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show 313-466-4386. Okay, oh man, do I have this? So this next topic right here, right? I consider this on the lighter side of the show, but we're about to see. Okay. This topic and the headline is coming from Outkick.com. 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 A scene from Sunday's game between the Washington Mystics and Phoenix Mercury spread like wildfire, showing a player losing their wig during the game, causing a halt in action. It also elicited a questionable response from the broadcaster, who noticeably avoided discussing the weave-induced stoppage. I'm reading this verbatim from Outkick.com. Phoenix's Kalia Cooper, who ran off the court and into the locker room when her wig was snatched by Phoenix's Jade Melbourne, who was trying to beat a screen. Now, I wish I could find a way to play this video scramble free without it being blurry, but I don't have that. But these are the players. I watched the video. Yes, she was driving around the lane, getting around the screen. It was so blurry. I couldn't really see it because it was blurry even then, what I saw. But all I know is you see a black thing on the floor, and you see, I guess the Phoenix player, you see her run towards it, grab it, and literally slowly run, but then eventually run towards the locker room just to put her wig on. And that made me think about another aspect about the WNBA and just women's sports in general. With that being said, I heard somebody say that most women are vain. He actually said all women are vain, but he said, I'm going to say most. And I feel like this proves it more than anything. For women, even in the WNBA, to not only feel like they need to wear a wig, but sometimes even makeup before they go on the court. I get it. You're on TV in front of millions. But you're also sweating and you're playing a sport, so I don't really care. I'd rather see your true self than see you have to go through all that and put on a wig and stop the game, or have to take an extra 30 minutes just to put on your makeup, or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, to put on your makeup. Now, hey, maybe this is coming from a man. Maybe that sounds misogynistic or masculine, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I just feel like that's the one thing about the WNBA and women's sports that's kind of a hold-up. And it literally was a hold-up, according to this game. Like, the whole game stopped because she had to grab her wig, run to the locker room, fix it, and then eventually come back out. Vanity stuff, right? I don't know. Much love to her. It looks like she's a baller. I didn't really watch the game. I think Phoenix did win that game. Phoenix did win. You can see. Game stopped for a wig. That's what happened. But let me know what you think about what I said. Do you think all women or most women are vanity driven? This is what I heard from another podcast or show. Shout out to the Star Report. Or what do you think? Do you think that type of stuff is it just is what it is when it comes to women? We just accept it? I'm with accepting it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just asking a question. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Couple other things to float through, if you don't mind. Clarissa Shields versus Lonnie Daniels. This was at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. This was just over the weekend, as a matter of fact. Clarissa Shields wins the first defense of her undisputed heavyweight title Saturday when she faced Lonnie Daniels on a stat card in Detroit, Michigan. I was actually downtown in Detroit at this time when the fight was actually going on. I was actually hosting a gig on Woodward. Little Caesars Arena is literally on Woodward, by the 75 freeway, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I drove past and I forgot the fight was going on at that time, and everybody, it was a bunch of people around and stuff, and then I saw it on the image on the LED screen. I was like, oh yeah, the Shields fight is tonight. So she ended up winning, like we all expected. Here's the thing about it. This is what I want to say. When I saw this press conference and I saw stuff like Lonnie Daniels just smiling, having a good time, patting Clarissa Shields on the shoulder and on the arm, and being very sportsmanlike in a sport like boxing, I said, oh no, we don't want to see this. This gonna go the distance. Lo and behold, it went the distance. Clarissa Shields won by unanimous decision. But at the same time, it's like, in the sport of boxing, if you heard me say this before. If you watched From the Stands, go back, check the episodes. I always like when boxers don't like each other. I'll even go say hate each other or have disdain for each other. I don't like all that great sportsmanship stuff in boxing. That makes me almost feel like it's guaranteed to go the distance. Why does it always have to go the distance with boxing? I don't want it to go the distance in boxing. I want to see somebody knocked out. Maybe because it was caught off guard, or maybe because you really don't like them and that's your intent, to knock them out. When you get buddy, y'all smiling with each other in boxing, I don't think nobody's intending to knock nobody out for real. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Shout out to Clarissa Shields though. Hey, that's the hometown baby. I always got support for Clarissa Shields. Don't get it twisted. Love you, but I felt like I knew you was gonna win this. And after I saw her smile and you kind of show a little bit of love, like I didn't see you kind of like completely just whatever get off me. I said, yo, this gonna be one of them. So shout out to you, baby. I think she sold out Little Caesars Arena. I hope she did, or she got very close. Trust me, when I'm in a position, I'm going to be going to the rest of your fights within driving distance. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show. What you think about Clarissa Shields? Who should she fight next? Don't bring that Layla Ali stuff up. Let me just say this right now. Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali. Listen, as much as it sounds great as women boxing name brands, I don't want to see that. Layla Ali is in her 40s, late 40s, mid to late 40s. Clarissa Shields is in her what? Late 20s, if not mid 30s? Somewhere between late 20s and mid 30s, Clarissa Shields. Somewhere around my age or younger. But anyway, the point is like, yo, I mean, for the name's sake, we'll want to see it. Just like the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Unfortunately, we had to watch that. But Clarissa Shields versus Layla Ali, I'm not here for it, but I will watch it though. I'm not here for it, for Layla Ali versus Clarissa Shields, but I will watch it though. Depends on what platform it's on too. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat, in the comments, or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Are you with the Clarissa Shields versus Layla Ali fight? That's what we want to know. We do have another topic in boxing world. In the boxing world, Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. That is scheduled for September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, on Netflix. A great fight that I'm looking forward to, I should say. I'm looking forward to a great fight. Big fan of Canelo Alvarez. One of the few fights I actually bought when he fought Mayweather. And I'm a Bud fan. I'm a Terrence Crawford fan, and I want to see Terrence Crawford get busy. Now, more than anything, I want to see a knockout. I want to see somebody face on the canvas. Bro, not a technical knockout where somebody just took a knee. I want to see somebody get caught off guard, laid down, Now, if that comes from Canelo or Bud, I'm with it for the entertainment and sport of boxing. Now, do I think these two hate each other or have disdain or anything like that? No. But I haven't seen them on some buddy stuff either. I have not seen them on some buddy stuff. So that's what I can appreciate. I think it's going to be a good fight. But I'm hoping for a knockout somewhere in that fight. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat, in the comments, or call into the show. 313-466-4386. All right, so 2 more topics. But I feel like these are relatively the heaviest, right? Pause. So women. This is according to CNN.com. CNN.com. Clarifying promised rules on female eligibility. Track and field's governing body set a September 1st deadline Wednesday for athletes to pass a gene test for competing in the World Championships. World Athletics said in March it will require chromosome testing by cheek swabs or dry blood spot tests for female athletes to be eligible for elite level events. The next Worlds Open, September 13th in Tokyo and September 1st, is the, quote, closing date for entries and the date the regulations come into effect, end quote. World Athletics said in a statement. The latest rules update gives certainty for the 2025 championships in an issue that has been controversial on the track and in multiple courts since Caster Semenya won her first 800 meters world title as a teenager in 2009. This is Semenya right here, by the way. Caster Semenya. Semenya won a ruling at the European Court of Human Rights 3 weeks ago in Strasbourg, France, in the South Africa Stars years-long challenge to a previous version of track and field's eligibility rules affecting athletes with medical conditions known as differences in sex development, also known as DSD. That legal win came because she did not get a fair hearing at the Swiss Supreme Court, but did not overturn track's rules. World Athletics drew up rules in 2018, forcing 2-time Olympic champion Semenya and others athletes with DSD to suppress their elevated natural testosterone levels to be eligible for international women's events. Semenya refused to take the medication, which I totally agree with. World Athletics has combined its eligibility framework for DSD and transgender athletes with transitional rules that let, quote, a very small number of known DSD athletes, end quote, continue competing if they are taking medication to suppress national testosterone. I want to read that report in its entirety before I got to it, just so we all know the facts. With that being said, this is Cordis Semenya. Did I say her name right? Did I say her name right? Let me put some respect on her name. Caster Semenya. It's her name, from South Africa. Now they're saying she is testing to have too much testosterone in her blood. So they're asking her, now she is a natural born female, but she just has a lot of testosterone, which they call DSD. Development sex, what they call it? Let me make sure I'm clear with that. Differences in sex development. She's a woman with differences in sex development, DSD. So she has more testosterone than the average woman. Not enough to be a male, but she is also born a female, a natural born female. And there's a few athletes like that. So World Athletics is basically saying, okay, you can compete, but we're going to need you to take medication to keep that testosterone down, just to level the playing field. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. If this is naturally how you were born and you ain't taking nothing to boost your testosterone and it's naturally proven that you haven't, this is just how you were born, let her compete. Let her compete. I'd rather this than a man somebody who's born a man to do something just to change their organs and their looks to be a woman just to compete in women's sports. No, or let's say and compete in women's sports. It's not fair. Let's not do that. That's what I got to speak up against. So with that being said, Semenya, natural born woman, higher testosterone, give it to her. Also, have you noticed they're only testing women athletes to see if you're actually a woman? Let's say you happen to be a natural born woman who transitioned into a male and you want to compete. Not only is that rare, but if it does happen and you make it to the Olympic level, for one, you're very, very talented and athletic in your sport. But for two, people don't really expect that because men naturally are stronger, faster, and more athletic than women, genetically speaking. That's not to be a misogynist or anything. So, with that being said, they had to do it the other way around just because. You're not seeing announcements of the other way where they're testing men to see if you're naturally born man. And I respect it. I get it personally, but I don't know if women take offense. So let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat, in the comments, or call into the show. 313-466-4386. There's another topic. Yo, and you know what? This is probably the most important topic from me and for me as a fan from the stands of a sports fan. So this is coming from the Associated Press, apnews.com. Let me get this out the way. Sports betting, man. 2018, a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that legalized sports betting across most states has ushered in a new era of gambling scandals in professional sports. This ruling opened the floodgates for online sports books, increasing accessibility and opportunities for illicit betting. Historically, leagues have grappled with such issues, evidenced by incidents like the 1919 Black Sox scandal, where 8 Chicago White Sox players were indicted for fixing the World Series, leading to a permanent ban, despite a not guilty verdict. More recently, the problem has intensified with numerous athletes and officials facing suspensions or lifetime bans. Notable cases include MLB lifetime ban of San Diego Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano, June 2024, for placing 387 baseball bets totaling over $150,000. And the NBA's lifetime ban of Toronto Raptors forward Jonte Porter in April 2024 for disclosing confidential information to bettors and wagering on games, including his own team, to lose. Even umpires are not immune, as exemplified by MLB's firing of Pat Hoiberg in February 2025 for sharing legal sports gambling accounts and deleting relevant messages. These incidents highlight the ongoing challenge sports leagues face in maintaining integrity in the face of widespread legal sports betting. Not to mention the referee Tim Donahue in the NBA got caught, banned as well. This is what I want to say. When I saw sports betting get legalized, basically nationwide, or be allowed nationwide in May 8, 2018, as a fan from the stands, I did not like that. I always felt like it was going to lead to players getting involved more or getting involved in all. The players, maybe players who never would have done it before. And it just leading to the worst. And like we said, historically, it's been going back since 1919, the Black Sox scandal in the MLB. Probably even earlier than that. But 1919 in baseball, Major League Baseball, scandals were happening in sports betting. Indicted 8 players and they were found not guilty. But still, it's something that's been going on in all 5 major sports. Baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey. All 5 sports right there. Not even just in the United States, worldwide. And even boxing, to add a 6. It's been happening for a while. I don't think it's ever going to go away. I just don't think legalizing sports betting nationwide was going to make it any better. See, we rarely heard about athletes or referees and them gambling. Not to say it hasn't been happening, but it's been few and far in between from some of my research at least. But now we're seeing and hearing of it more. We have the evidence, the videos to see it, and it's getting crazy. If you ask me personally, at first I thought only the Major League Baseball was giving out lifetime bans. I'm like, yo, MLB is harsh. But the NBA, lifetime ban for Jonte Porter. Toronto Raptors for his involvement. And I believe at least one other player in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. Lifetime bans. Could be more. Who knows? As a fan, we only care about what happens on the field and on the court. If you are betting for your team to win and you're out there trying your hardest, I honestly don't care, and I'm not mad at you. Because you should always be betting on your team to win, whether that's physically, mentally, financially, or whatever. Emotionally, always bet to win. Bet on yourself. But if you're betting on yourself and your team to lose and then you're purposely tanking, then we all got a problem with that. Specifically, us fans from the stands. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm only against betting against your squad and your team. Other than that, I don't think sports betting is going to make it better. I think at the end of the day, it's going to come to either more regulations, or I just see it being so lucrative, which it already is. It's not. Maybe it gets banned. When and if it gets too crazy, I'll say another 50 years from now. 50 years. 50 to 100 years from now. It's too lucrative for it to go away too soon. And by too soon, within 50 years. Especially since they just legalized it in 2018. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat, in the comments, or call into the show. 313-466-4386. That's all I have, folks. That's all I have for you tonight. I appreciate you for kicking it with KC. From the stands of a sports fan, you already know what we do, pots and pans, man. Listen, just showing love, popping up on here, showing live. Hey, listen, man, yesterday I was on the Underground Lounge with Lou Will and Spank Corden. Shout out to the boys. They had me on the show virtually, and I got to crack a couple jokes, fam. So I'm all with that. Listen, check that out. Check out Underground Lounge. Show them some love as well. Appreciate them. And shout out to some new subscribers that came from Underground Lounge as well. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And go ahead and share it as well. And anytime you do comment, I will comment back. We're going to do another show probably in the morning. Going to be on some other stuff other than sports possibly. We'll see about that. Other than that, appreciate you for showing love. Kicking with KC. We out.